Hey guys, Jim here. Time for another Knives and Wine video. Oh yeah, it's been about 2 weeks, I do suppose, since I've been able to sit down and do one of these. One was, one reason was just out of trepidation. We all know how the last one went. Ha ha! Yeah. And honestly, just been so busy, so tied up, doing so many different things and trying to keep up with little side projects and things like that, doing a whole bunch of photography for my friend Rob over at Combative Edge. And that took a little longer than expected. You know, it's always fun to shoot a whole series of photos, not catching little things like there's your background screwed up. So I have to replace my carbon fiber background that you guys sometimes see me use out here. And I've got to reshoot most of the series again because I'm just not a big fan of Photoshop. Little, minor corrections here and there I don't mind doing, but something major like that, it's just not worth it. So just reshoot the shit and, get it over with. So let's see what's going on knife-wise for me. You guys may have seen in my latest video, my new Olamic Cutlery Wayfarer. Extraordinarily happy with this thing. Great polish, great blade, nice and smooth, fast action on it for a big 4-inch blade. So yeah, I've actually carried this a few times already since I got it a few days ago and have been very, very, very impressed. I've actually already got a couple of marks on it. So I don't know if it's really going to show up here, but there's already a couple little teeny tiny little marks. So yeah, she's definitely being put to good use and I'm having a lot of fun with it. And it's breaking in to be even better than the day I got it. So I'm very impressed with that. Thank you, Eugene, again for making that available. Very, very pleased with that purchase. Made a, I got a really interesting offer the other day. And that's one of the things I love about you guys, about you subscribers, and about being part of this YouTube community. I had a deal just fall in my lap a few nights ago. And it's funny because I wasn't expecting it. I just paid for a whole bunch of other stuff that I have coming in, which, by the way, not that this really matters, I paid for it 6 months ago, but in the next week, finally my Praetorian tie will be here in the one of 10 that he made in the S35 VN blades. So yeah, I'm pretty damn stoked about that. So that should be a lot of fun when that gets here. That's probably going to be my EDC for a while. I plan on really abusing the shit out of that one. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so a deal fell in my lap. I was just sitting at home, middle of the night. This is probably like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, I would think, night before last. And I see an email pop in, just a message that somebody had sent to my YouTube private message box. So I opened it up, and it was this really, really nice guy named Adam. And he says, and then, believe me, this threw up red flags immediately. I'm like, there's no way this is really happening. Pinch me, somebody. So sends me an email. He goes, listen, I'm looking at getting rid of this knife. And, I kind of wanted to offer it to you first. I know that you would really appreciate owning a knife like this. And, I'd like to see it go to somebody like you that really would. And believe it or not, it was a custom Brad Southard. And you guys know, after I've had a chance to review a couple of them, borrowing one of Justin Laffer's and then the one that's being sent to my friend, I said, well, and I know Brad makes a lot of different stuff, and a lot of his stuff tends to be on the small side, which I'm not a big fan of really small knives anyway. So I said, okay, well, which one is it? And he says, it's a Tarsus. I'm like, no, there's no way. Okay, well, do you have any pictures or anything else? I'm certainly very interested. Thank you for coming to me and making the offer to me. I said, let me take a look at it and tell me what your price is. So he sends me a video of it, and I was blown away. I mean, it's bronze titanium with carbon fiber that's been enhanced to come off like a blue shimmer, which was quite appealing to me, as a matter of fact. And it had zirconium pivot ring, zirconium backspacer. And I was like, oh man, this thing is just gorgeous. Yeah, get me some of that. And I said, how much do you want? Now, I'm not going to divulge any of the prices or anything, but he says, from the research I've done, it's probably worth between this dollar amount and this dollar amount. How about a few hundred less than that? I got it from Brad direct. I waited 2.5 years to get it, which means to me he got the direct price. And, he's going to make a few hundred. Totally fine. I mean, oh my God. You guys know what happens with a Souther. People get one and it goes for 3-4 times the price. So I sent a quick message before I committed. I said, can I sleep on it? So I sent a quick message to Justin because Justin, knows all things Southern. And if it was for some reason something he didn't know, he could just pick up the phone and call his buddy Brad Southern. So I said, I'm being offered this and I certainly want to jump on it. I know it's legit and everything else, but what are your thoughts? He says, wait, that's a Tarsus. I said, yeah. He goes, only 8 exist, period. I said, oh, really? And it's my understanding that this particular one's a one of a kind. I guess all 8 were made a little bit differently, but the materials that were used are different on this one. He says, I'll tell you right now, he goes, I have a Tarsus and somebody offered me, again, I'm not going to say the amount, but this ludicrous amount of money. And he goes, I turned him down. I said, well, then I think I'm getting a pretty darn good deal here. I should probably jump on it. He goes, if you don't, please pass on the guy's information to me because I want it. So it is promised to Justin if for some reason it's not my thing or in 5 years I decide I want to be out from under it. So don't email me. It would go to Justin for sure. So that's going to be coming in the next few days. And I'm actually kind of on pins and needles. I'll show you a quick picture of it. All I have is the pictures on my phone. I don't know how well that's going to come out on video. So there she is. And you can kind of see the blue shimmer coming through, I think. So, I mean, I'm pretty damn excited. It's a little smaller than what I normally buy. It's a 3-inch blade, but it's so gorgeous. And, I mean, it's a Southern. Just to have a Southern in your collection, that's pretty damn amazing. And not spend $3,000-$4,000 to get it. So, I'm pretty darn happy about that. Got a little fun cheapie. I got a zero tolerance, the Rexford, what is that, 0801, 0801. And I bought that with the complete intention of sending that out to Will Moon, who's going to be doing some just minor custom work to it to make it a little bit different. He actually did one for himself about a month ago, and then he ended up selling it. And as soon as I saw it, I went, wow, that's probably the most beautiful ZT Rexford that I've seen. Would you mind doing the same thing to mine? He's like, oh, no, send it on over. So it's going to have like a nice very bright satin brush finish, and each of the grooves will be like a deep, rich blue anodized. It's going to be just a really nice looking knife that, I mean, I have nothing invested in. I think I paid, it was $140 or something like that. And I got to tell you, man, that little bastard flips. Oh my God, does that thing flip. I was really, I mean, I sat there and played with it before I reboxed it to send it to Will. And I was like, damn, this little bastard flips. I mean, it was like almost like flipping a Shirogorov. I mean, it was fast, it was snappy, it was smooth. So yeah, I was like, shit, I mean, for this kind of money, everybody should own one. And I would say that right now, even only having played with it for a couple of hours before I reshipped it, I think I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it. I mean, yeah, it's a bit on the small side. I think it's just under a 3.5-inch blade. I mean, I really don't know. I haven't done any research on it, but I mean, it's a sweet ass little knife. And at the low cost, I mean, it's kind of a guilt-free EDC. You're not going to, worry about getting marks and, scratches and stuff on a knife that you paid, $140, $160 for. I mean, again, it's still a lot of money. I don't want to downplay that. But I mean, comparing to something you might have spent a lot more money on, you'd probably rather put the abuse on something that cost you a lot less. So I'm actually really excited to get that back. That's going to be awesome. I sent, let's see what else. I sent Chris Martin at Phantom Steelworks. I sent him my little PF1 flipper back because we were going to do some modifications to it. He has like a Generation 2 now with different hardware, different standoffs. And along with that, he gets it back and he says, you know what? He goes, I kind of want to play with it a little bit more. Would you mind? And I said, well, I know you're a little bit insane, so what do you mean by play with it? He's like, well, I've got a new finish I've been doing that I'm really enjoying, and I'll even contour it for you. He's doing this new contour job, kind of like this, where everything is nice and rounded off instead of being as squared off as his knives usually are. And I was like, oh shit, man, I don't know. I said, I really love the color scheme that I have, which is the reds and the yellows, the kind of golden tones and the maroons. And he says, trust me, you're going to love it. And I forgot what he calls it. It's like an ice finish or a frost finish or something, but it's a lot of blues, varying hues of blue. And he shot me pictures of it when he did it, and oh my God, it is amazing. I am really, really anticipating getting that one back. I should have that on Monday. This is Saturday night, so I still got another full day I've got to wait, but I'm pretty damn excited about that. So expect an update video on that when that arrives. I'll probably sit right down and do that. What else is going on knife-wise? I guess an explanation is due as to why I don't do as many videos as I like to do. I was able to blast out a few last week, so I uploaded 3 in one night. But that's because I'm just not getting the time to myself at night like I usually do to be able to do the videos as often as I'd like to. So, I mean, really it's at the point now where Friday, Saturday nights are about the only time I can kind of break away and, not feel like I'm abandoning the family or anything like that. So I'm going to be slowing down a little bit, but I'm still going to try to keep up and get some fresh new content out here all the time. By the way, I'm still so loving my Kirby Lambert. This is just quite simply perfection. I can hardly ever put it down. I got my Will Moons back. I'm very pleased about that. I did send them out to have a little touch-ups, a little bit of work done. I explained that in the video that I uploaded when I got them back. So my C-Tech is now looking very, very good. Both my blades were, banged up and roughed up because I do use them. So Will was nice enough to resharpen them for me. And he added the titanium clip to this one as a little gift. Thank you, Will. And, this one was the big difference by reprofiling this blade to the new kind of extreme Spanto, as I like to call it. He did such a beautiful job on this. I'm so happy. Shouldn't be too much longer before I get my hands finally on a Mark 7. So you guys get ready for that. Those are going to be ready really, really soon. Well, I wouldn't say really soon, but it's sooner now than it was in the past. I do want to show these to you in case you've been staring at them wondering what the hell they are. These actually belong to a buddy of mine named Pav, and he ordered a few things from Jake Hoback, and in that order, he ordered a couple of these Kiradashis. I like to call them Hobakadashis. Yeah, let's see if that sticks. So they're this one's titanium and this one's steel, and they're both carbidized edges. Very, very cool. I mean, these are nice little tools, nice little workhorses here. Nice carbidization there on the edges. Very slick, pretty sharp. They're not like insanely sharp like the one I have from Gav. Dude, Mike can sharpen like crazy, and certainly Jake can too. My Quayback is insanely sharp. But this is definitely a tough little tool. Nice jimping on there. Nice matched finish on these. It's just you can only tell the difference between them by the weight. This one's titanium and this one's steel, so there's a significant weight difference in them. But they're really comfortable in the hand. You've got some jimping here, some jimping here. So the next time Jake posts up on his Instagram or on his YouTube and says, "Hey, I'm gonna make some Kiradashis available," grab one. They're really, really cool. They've been a lot of fun to kind of just sit there and play with. I haven't cut anything with them because it's not my place to, start dulling the edge on somebody else's stuff. And basically, I'm just holding on to these until Jake gets his knives done, and then he's sending those to me. I'm going to do like a Hoback day, like a whole Hoback video with my knife and his knives and the dashies, and then those all get sent out to him. God, this is so smooth. I love this knife so much. That's a good topic. Talking about a smooth, clean operation. Now, obviously, this has the Hoback rolling detent, so you would expect it to be super smooth as it's closing and close under its own weight because this is a really thick, very heavy 3V steel blade. So you would expect that what, oh here, my little old Jason Clark. I'm so amazed at what Jason can do. Realize this knife as it sits is only like $550, which in the realm of a true hand-built custom, not a mid-tech, not a production, but in that realm, $550 is a very, 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 very affordable. And this thing will damn near, see that? Whew. And there's almost no weight to this blade. It is liquid smooth opening, liquid smooth closing. It'll fire open nice and fast, even though, hold on one second, even though it has a really small flipper on there. So I'm not a big fan of guys that are putting these giant monster flippers. You don't need that for the leverage. You just need a good detent, a nice smooth action, and wow, I mean, it's just, it amazes me. My Will Moons are the same way. It's a little hard to do it with the limited space I have here, but my lanyard. But I mean, they just drop right into place. They're super fast and super smooth. I mean, some of these guys can really, really nail the smoothness in their action. And I think that really speaks volumes. Why am I having a hard time figuring out how to do that? It really speaks volumes to the quality of the maker and the work that they put into, you know, each of the knives they're building. You know, I love my Shiragorovs. They fire great. They're nice and smooth. But, you know, they're on the pricier side. You know, not tremendously expensive, but still pricey, so you kind of expect that. But there's so many times that you pick up somebody's knife and it's got a stiff action. You know, here's another one that I think has a fantastic action, this great John Graham. Nice and smooth. It's got a great detent, flips hard, and closes great. You know, one thing I didn't mention on this when I did the video on it, because I didn't realize it, because I certainly hadn't slipped it in my pocket or anything yet. You guys see anything a little bit strange going on here? Just soak it in. Now, this is not a lefty knife, correct? Lock bar pushes to the left, so it's not a lefty. This is for right-hand carry. The clip is on the wrong side. And believe me, I've tried to work that into a pocket. It doesn't work. The clip has to be over here, just like he did on the GL Tanto. This fits in the pocket right. This doesn't. This would actually be a left-hand carry, but it's not a left-hand lock. So I can't figure this out. Was it a mistake? You know, I mean, it is a prototype, but was it a mistake or something that John was just experimenting with? And I can't figure it out. This is one of the most amazing knives I've ever handled. I love this blade. I love this grind. But for somebody like me, it's uncarryable. It cannot be carried. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I can't figure that out. In every other respect, this thing is just bad to the friggin' bone. So, yeah, I mean, I don't have any contact with John to ask him. He's not one of the makers that I really know. And I'd love to know if there was a reason behind that, or if it was just a simple oopsie, you know, because everybody makes mistakes. It was a prototype, so it really didn't matter. I don't know, it's crazy. Going back to smooth, my wonderful Division, still as smooth as the day I got her, and I've had this now for, geez, I got this in February, so yeah, what's that, 9 months? Still perfectly smooth, great, flips open like a champ. Even this little guy right here, I mean, $90 Boker Quaken. I mean, yeah, I've got like $250 wrapped up in this because of all the modding that's been done to it. But this little boy, whew, and I haven't lubricated this at all, and actually I can actually feel the bearings in there, so it actually needs to be lubed, and it's still nice and smooth. I still love this knife. One of these days, Alex Dietz is going to get finished with my Pimpity Pimp version, and should be sometime soon. I bought a chunk of Timascus, so he's going to take the steel frame, mirror polish it, all Timascus. We're going all blue because I bought white Timascus so that he could torch it whatever color we want. And so we're going to go all hues of blue. And he's going to do what he can for satin and polishing on the blade. I think it was satin grind and polished flat, polished spine that I asked for. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if he's going to be able to mirror polish the thumb stud, but I asked, because it's got a different grade of steel. I don't know that it can be. So, and I think we were going to do a mirror polish clip on there as well. So that should be fun. What else is going on? I know a lot of people are kind of tuning into this because they want me to reference what happened in the last few videos that I've taken down. And, I'm really not going to get into that. But I will tell you, we're going to keep everything on a positive note here. In the last guest blade I did, I actually had to skip over it and start renumbering everything because I review knives at this point. And not every review can be a glowing, flattering review. That's the way it is. And you guys hear even the knives that I love, there'll still be things here and there that, are areas of opportunity, if you will. And, I did one, I won't say what it was or anything else. And please, if you know, do not put it in the comments down below, please, because I like to be able to speak freely about it. The maker went apeshit. Like, he was really super hot in the ass about it, very offended. And I understand why. However, when it was other people too that were kind of jumping on it, and I'm like, are you kidding me? It's a review. There's going to be pros and cons, and not every review can be perfect. And if your product isn't perfect, and it's, glaringly obvious in the video, you could have muted my dumbass and seen for yourself the terrible, terrible issues that there were. But, I guess I am a very straightforward person, and I do realize it rubs people the wrong way sometimes. And it was the way that I worded things, I think, that offended him more so than anything else. So I made my apologies very sincerely. And I said, listen, I know I've seen other work by you before, and this was not representative of what you typically do. I would love the opportunity to review one that you feel is a representation of your quality. I'm happy to do it. If you want to send one, the very day it arrives, I will put everything else aside in my life, and I will do it. If it's right, and if it's not, I won't even touch it. I'll just send it back to you and go, no, I'd rather not do it. So who knows? That might happen in the future. I don't know. But I believe everybody deserves a second chance. So, hell, why not? And after speaking with my friend Neil Blackwood, who has a good amount of respect for that maker, he's like, I'm telling you, man, I bought a knife from him 15 years ago at a knife show. He goes, I never buy other people's knives because I make knives. He says, but I've just been so impressed by his work. Maybe you should give him another shot. So I respect Neil tremendously. And for him to say that, that was the first thing to tell me, hey, I should really do that. You know what, let's cut this off here before my camera cuts me off, and we'll make a part 2. We haven't done that in a while. Be back in a minute.